Good evening, councillors, staff, members of the public. Please be upstanding for Her Worship Mayor Karen Vernon.
Good evening, everybody. It is now 6:30 and I'll declare this special council meeting of the Town of Victoria Park is open. I'd like to begin with an acknowledgement of the traditional owners. Nunjarapan Wajak Noongar Budja Yakan Nidja Bilya Barduk. I'm honoured to be standing on Wajak Noongar country on the banks of the Swan River. Nankadach Noongar Mort Ken Kadak Nidja Wajak Noongar Budja. Nankadach Nidja Noongar Brodia Kora Yeye Border, Balapan, Mordich, Noongar, Kadajan, Mort, Webudja, Yeye. I acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land and respect past, present and emerging leaders, their continuing cultural heritage, beliefs and relationship with the land, which continues to be important today. Nanyunka, Balapan, Noongar, Brodia, We Mort, Nidja Budja. I thank them for the contribution made to life in the town of Victoria Park and to this region. Please everyone be seated. Again, a very warm welcome to everyone. Welcome to the new council meeting for your first special council meeting tonight, and to those who are joining us from home on live streaming. This is the beginning of exciting times for this council over the next 2 years. And tonight we will be dealing with some important business, including the election of the new Deputy Mayor and also appointments by elected members to external bodies, advisory groups and working groups. Item 2 on the agenda is announcements from the presiding member. Firstly, recording and live streaming of proceedings. In accordance with Regulation 14I of the Local Government Administration Regulations 1996, this meeting is being audio and video recorded and live streamed on the town's website. Under Clause 39(1 of the Meeting Procedures Local Law 2019, I do not give permission for any other person to record the proceedings of this meeting. By being present at this meeting, members of the public consent to the possibility that their image and voice may be live streamed to the public. Recordings are also made available on the town's website following the meeting. 2.2 Public question time and public statement time. As this is a special council meeting, any public questions or statements must relate to the business of the agenda. There are guidelines that need to be adhered to in our council meetings, and during question and statement time, people speaking are not to personalise any questions or statements about elected members or staff or use any possible defamatory remarks. In accordance with Clause 40 of the town's Meeting Procedures Local Law, a person addressing the council shall extend due courtesy and respect to the council and the processes under which it operates, and shall comply with any direction by the presiding member. A person present at or observing a meeting shall not create a disturbance at a meeting by interrupting or interfering with the proceedings, whether by expressing approval or dissent, by conversing or by any other means. When the presiding member speaks during public question time or public statement time, any person then speaking is to immediately stop, and every person present is to preserve strict silence so that the presiding member may be heard without interruption. As per my usual practice, there's a limit of 3 questions per person, and 2 minutes are allocated to statements with 1 statement per person. Item 2.3, no adverse reflection. In accordance with Clause 56 of our Meeting Procedures Local Law, both elected members and the public, when speaking, are not to reflect adversely on the character or actions of elected members or employees. Item 3 on the agenda is attendance. I'm delighted to say that we have all elected members in attendance, and a very warm official welcome to our new elected members who are joining us tonight. From the Banksy Award, Councillor Scott Ingram, and returning re-elected Councillor Lindsay Miles, and from the Jarrah Ward, Councillor Ondra Biondi and Councillor Jack Gordon-Manley. And they join our continuing councillors, and we look forward to working with you over the coming 2 years. We are joined tonight by the Chief Executive Officer, Mr Carl Askew, and a number of members of the executive and management of the town of Victoria Park. We have no apologies and no approved leave of absence. Item 4, declarations of interest. Mr CEO, are there any declarations of interest, please?
I've received none, Mayor Vernon.
Thank you. Elected members, if you have not made a declaration of interest and there is an item on the agenda that you feel you have an interest that needs to be declared, now is the time to do so, but if you don't do it now, you need to do it before the item comes up for debate or for voting. So, are there any elected members who have an interest they have not declared? No, we'll move on. Item 5 is public question time, which I now open at 6:35 p.m. Noting that there are no members in the public gallery, I will close public question time at 6:35 p.m. Item 6 on the agenda is public statement time, which I also open at 6:35 p.m, getting ahead of myself. And again, there being no members of the public present, I will close at 6:35 p.m. Item 7 is presentations. 7.1 petitions, there are none. 7.2 presentations, there are none. 7.3 deputations, there are none. Item 8, method of dealing with agenda business. The first item of business on the first council meeting of the new council must deal as a matter of business with the election of the Deputy Mayor. So, in accordance with Section 2.15 and Schedule 2.3 of the Local Government Act 1995, I now call on the town's Chief Executive Officer to preside over the conduct of the election of the new Deputy Mayor. Mr CEO.
Thank you, Mayor Vernon. Councillors, to date, 2 nominations have been indicated for the position of Deputy Mayor, those being Councillor Daniel Minson and Councillor Lindsay Miles. Can I now ask, are there any other nominations for the position of Deputy Mayor? Nominations are about to close. Councillors, are there any further nominations? I'll take that as a no. At 6:36, I now declare that nominations are now closed. Mayor Vernon, councillors, at close of nominations, I have received 2 nominations for Deputy Mayor, Councillor Daniel Minson and Councillor Lindsay Miles. Mayor Vernon, you indicated, as is our practice, that you would offer the opportunity for both candidates to speak to their nomination to council.
Thank you, Mr CEO. Yes, it has been my determination under the meeting procedures local law they will allow for the candidates for Deputy Mayor the opportunity to speak for no more than a maximum of 3 minutes. I will now call upon the candidates in the order in which they are noted in my agenda. So I'll invite Councillor Daniel Minson to make your statement to the council as to why you should be elected Deputy Mayor, and then when you are finished we'll go to Councillor Lindsay Miles. And we will be keeping time strictly, so thank you. Councillor Minson, when you're ready.
Thank you, Mayor Vernon. I'd like to first congratulate the new councillors on their elections and wish the new group well as we continue the important work of council. I am seeking election to the office of Deputy Mayor as I believe I have the skills and experience to fulfil the role's obligations. The role is a supporting one, with the Deputy Mayor needing the ability to preside over a meeting, carry out a public engagement, interact with key stakeholders, including the state government, or deal with the media in the event that the Mayor is unable to do so. For those councillors who know me, I hope you'd agree that I am well placed to carry out these duties, and that you would have confidence that I would represent the town of Victoria Park competently. A Deputy Mayor needs to be well prepared, articulate, confident, and a concise speaker, and is also required to be abreast of the issues at hand. I have a good working relationship with all councillors and the Mayor, and I hope you all have found me approachable and open-minded. I am also fortunate that I have a flexible working arrangement and a supportive family, which allows me to meet the obligations of the role. My favourite part of being a councillor, and likewise with my work as an engineer, is having the opportunity to serve the community, which I find to be immensely rewarding. Engaging with the wider community at events such as dawn services, remembrance days and citizenship ceremonies have been a personal highlight of my past 2 years. I am excited by the responsibility that being Deputy Mayor bestows in helping facilitate these events. What motivates me is duty and service. I humbly present my skills, experience and values to you all for your endorsement as the next Deputy Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Minson. Councillor Miles.
So I'm nominating for Deputy Mayor for the same reason that I nominated for Council, because I love my community and I love this place where we live, and I want to choose to continue this work to make Vic Park an even better place for the people who choose to call Vic Park home. Having been on Council for 2 years, I feel ready to step up and take on the extra responsibility and the challenges that come with that. Something that I've always valued about Mayor Vernon is that she is truly committed to our community, and this is a value that we share. I think it's a great foundation. I'm not aligned to any political party, I'm neutral in that regard, and I'm here because I want to put my community first. I'm confident that the Mayor and I can work well together over the next 2 years and have a good and collaborative relationship, and that will be able to support the Mayor as she needs. I'm committed to working on strengthening that relationship, and I'm committed to strengthening my relationship with all of the elected members. When I spoke to the Mayor about what she wanted in a Deputy Mayor, one of the things she told me was that she expected the Deputy Mayor to be available at short notice. I'm based in Perth for work, so I'm not travelling, and I do commit to being available. I see a lot of value in having a Deputy Mayor living in the Banksia ward, noting that the Mayor lives in the Jarrah ward. Whilst I know that all elected members represent the entire town, I also know that residents will reach out to their most local councillors sometimes, and I think there is a strong benefit to having a Deputy Mayor in one ward with a Mayor living in the other ward. Our previous deputy was competent, dedicated and enthusiastic about supporting our community. I realised that she was a known quantity. I've only been on council for 2 years compared to her 6 years when she nominated, but I do hope to build on her work and be supportive for Mayor Vernon, and through my connection with the community, I feel like I can offer benefits to this role. I'm asking you to put your trust in me, and I promise that I will work hard in this position, and if elected, I look forward to working more closely with the Mayor and supporting her as she needs. Thank you for considering my nomination.
Thanks, Councillor Miles. So now go back to Mr CEO, who's going to advise what the process will be from here on.
Thank you, Mayor Vernon. Councillors, we will now proceed with a secret ballot. We will have staff distribute ballot papers to you. I ask that you cast your vote for your preferred candidate for Deputy Mayor, either by writing down the name or by listing in order of preference, the 1 next to your preferred candidate and a 2 next to your second preferred, and so on. We will collect those ballot papers once circulated.
For elected members, once you've completed your ballot paper, please fold it over and hold your hand up if you are able to do so, or to indicate that you are ready for it to be collected. Please don't give it to another elected member, and please make sure you see it go into the ballot box. Thank you. I'd like a ballot paper too. I think I'm entitled to a vote last time I looked.
I was watching as we came to. Thank you, Mayor. Councillors, thank you for your participation in accordance with Section 2.3, Division 2, Section 8 of the Local Government Act. I declare Councillor Lindsay Miles elected as Deputy Mayor for the town of Victoria Park for a 2-year term. Congratulations, Councillor Miles.
Thank you.
Now need to attend to the swearing in, and so we have a formal declaration. If I ask Councillor Miles to come forward. All right, so having completed the election of the Deputy Mayor, we now move on to item 9 on the agenda, which is the reports, of which there are 2. The first one is the appointment of elected members to the committees of council. So we need to deal with the 2 committees first, and what I'm proposing to do for both this item and also 9.2 is I'm going to deal with who will actually be nominated and selected, if necessary, by election onto each of the committees. Once we have the names and it's completed, then we will use electronic voting to move and second the recommendation that then completes the appointments. So we need to know who we will be appointing to the committees, but we will then have a proper vote using electronic voting for the completed resolution. So at the moment, the recommendation merely recommends that certain councillors be appointed, but without naming them. So first and foremost, we're going to deal with the Audit and Risk Committee. So far, I have had indicated to me that the following elected members are looking to be elected to the Audit and Risk Committee, of which there are 4 positions available. The persons who have indicated they're definitely nominating are myself, Mayor Vernon, Councillor Minson, Councillor Ingram and Councillor Biondi. Is there another elected member who is seeking to be appointed to the Audit and Risk Committee? I'm seeing that there are no further appointments to the Audit and Risk Committee, so on that basis, we have the number of nominations for the number of positions that are available. I will just check with the Manager of Governance. Are we seeking to appoint some deputies to this at the same time? No?
Because the policy says all elected members are deputies.
All right, okay, so the Manager of Governance says we don't need to appoint specific deputies because under the policy all elected members can act as a deputy if required. So we'll now move to the CEO Committee. So this is the CEO Performance Review and Recruitment Committee, and that has availability for 4 councillors and myself as the Mayor to be appointed to this committee. At the moment, I have nominations from myself, Mayor Vernon. We need to appoint from the wards, 2 from each. From the Banksy Ward, Councillor Anderson is nominated, and from the Jarrah Ward, Councillor Cruiser has nominated. Do I have any other persons who would like to nominate for the remaining 2 positions on the CEO Recruitment and Performance Review Committee? Anyone seeking to nominate? Councillor Miles, you're seeking to nominate for the Banksy Ward, is that correct? And so I'm inquiring, is there another person who'd wish to nominate for the Jarrah Ward? No? So looks like we don't have another person nominating. Sorry, Councillor Biondi? Yep, all right. So anybody further who's seeking to nominate? No? On that basis, that is a sufficient number of people to fill the positions that are available. So the recommendation now will be that council appoints, although my title is not councillors, but Mayor Karen Vernon, Councillor Daniel Minson, Councillor Scott Ingram, and Councillor Andra Biondi to the Audit, Risk and Improvement Committee in accordance with sections 5.10 and 5.11 of the Local Government Act 1995 for the period 28 October 2025 to 16 October 2027. And secondly, appoints the Mayor and Councillors Claire Anderson, and Lindsay Miles from the Banksy Award, and Councillors Sky Cruiser and Andra Biondi from the Jarrah Ward as members of the CEO Recruitment and Performance Review Committee in accordance with sections 5.10, 5.11A and 5.11 of the Local Government Act 1995 for the period 28 October 2025 through to 16 October 2027. As the Mayor, I will move that recommendation. Can I seek, using electronic voting, a seconder, please? So that's moved myself, Mayor Vernon, seconded Deputy Mayor Miles. Can I ask formally, is there any dissent? No, there being no dissent to the recommendation as we have dealt with by election, I declare that carried unanimously. Thank you. 9.2, appointment of elected members to external bodies. So we have a number of external bodies that we are seeking appointment for. I've proposed to follow the exact same process. We will be looking for people to nominate for the positions available. Where there are more nominees than the positions available, we will move to a vote using ballot slips. And at the end of that, we will have one person who has received sufficient votes to be appointed to the position. And once we've gone through the same process for each of these, if we need to have elections, we will do so. And then at the end, we'll do the recommendation as a consolidation. I will ask Mr. CEO to be the returning officer for a simple majority vote, so you will not be required, if you have to vote, to write down preferences. You will only put down the name of the person you wish to see appointed if it is a position for which there is only one position available. If there are more nominees than positions available and there's more than one position available, we'll give you instructions about how to deal with that. So we're going to move through these in the order in which they appear in the agenda. So the first one is the Mindarie Regional Council, and we are seeking to appoint both a member and a deputy member to the Mindarie Regional Council for the next 2 years. So far the nominations are myself, Mayor Vernon, and Councillor Ingram. Are there any other nominees for Mindarie Regional Council? No? There being no other nominees, I declare that there are only 2 nominees. And so now, does everyone have ballot papers available to them? You'll be writing down the name of only the person you wish to be appointed, so it is only either myself or Councillor Ingram. When you're done, please fold your ballot paper and hand it to governance. Thank you. Mr. CEO, can you declare the results? Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Vernon. Thank you, councillors. The voting is 6 votes. Mayor Karen Vernon, 3 votes. Councillor Scott Ingram. Congratulations, Mayor Vernon.
Thank you, Mr. CEO. So we'll now ask Councillor Ingram, would you wish to nominate to be the Deputy for Mindarie Regional Council?
Thank you very much, Mayor Vernon. I'd absolutely love to do that. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We'll ask, is there anyone else who would wish to nominate to be the Deputy? There being no one else who wishes to nominate to be the Deputy, we have 1 nomination for Deputy, which is Councillor Ingram, who will be the Deputy for MRC. We'll now move to Catalina Regional Council. So far, I've received 1 nomination from Councillor Claire Anderson. Is there anyone else who wishes to nominate for Catalina Regional Council? No, I see that there are no other nominations, so declare the nominations closed and declare that Councillor Anderson will be the town's representative on Catalina Regional Council. Move now to the WA Local Government Association South East. Oh yes, sorry, we do need a deputy for Catalina. That's entirely correct. Councillor Biondi, you'd indicated to me you'd be interested in being the deputy. Is that still the case?
That's still the case. Thanks, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. So is there anyone else who wishes to nominate to be the deputy for Catalina? No? All right, on that basis, Councillor Biondi will be our deputy on Catalina. The next one is the WA Local Government Association South East Metropolitan Zone. So far been notified of 2 persons who would like to nominate, Deputy Mayor Miles and Councillor Biondi. Are there any other nominations for the Wolga South East Zone? No, looks like there are no other nominations. So on that basis, we have sufficient nominees for the 2 positions available. So I declare Deputy Mayor Miles and Councillor Biondi will be our representatives on the Wolga Zone. In terms of deputies, looking to appoint preferably 2 deputies to the Wolga South East Metropolitan Zone. Councillor Gordon Manley, you'd indicated you'd be willing to be considered as a deputy. Is that still the case?
Correct.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would wish to be a deputy? Councillor Ingram, thank you. Anyone else who'd like to be considered as a deputy? No. On that basis, we have sufficient number of nominees for the deputies that we have available, which will be Councillor Gordon Manley and Councillor Ingram. We now move on to the Metropolitan Inner Development Assessment Panel. So far, I've had an indication of two people who definitely wish to nominate. They are Councillor Peter Melrosa and Councillor Andra Biondi. Councillor Daniel Minson, you'd indicated to me you'd consider nominating. Were you still considering nominating for this?
No, thank you, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone else who would wish to nominate for the Metro Inner DAP? No? On that basis, we only have two positions on that available, and so both of Councillor Melrosa and Councillor Biondi will become our representatives on that. Now, we also need deputies for this. Deputies get training, and they may be called upon from time to time because development applications don't wait for anyone, so they come up when they're ready to come up. Councillor Gordon-Manley, you'd indicated to me you'd be willing to be a deputy. Is that still the case?
Correct.
Thank you. Now seeking, is there anyone else who'd like to be a deputy for the DAP? Councillor Cruiser, you'd like to be a deputy? All right. Thank you. Anyone else who'd like to be a deputy? Noting if there is, then we'll need to go to a vote. No? All right, so we now have sufficient people to be the two deputies. They're Councillor Gordon-Manley and Councillor Sky Cruiser. We now come to the South East Metro Regional Roads Group. So far, I'm aware of one nominee. It is myself, Mayor Vernon. Is there anyone else who's wishing to nominate for this position? No, looks like there's nobody else who's wishing to nominate for that position, so it looks like I get that position. Is there someone who'd like to be the deputy for this group? It only usually meets twice a year. It's not a really big onerous responsibility. No? Councillor Minson, thank you. All right. On that basis, there being one position available for a deputy, it's filled by Councillor Minson. We now have Canning College Board. I currently haven't received any nominations, but I'm seeing Councillor Cruiser, you'd like to nominate for this. Thank you. Is there anyone else who'd like to nominate for the Canning College Board? No? All right, well, there's one position available, so I declare that is going to be filled by Councillor Cruiser. And I think we are seeking a deputy for this, is that right? No? No deputy for this position, right. Okay. So on that basis, we have our positions available from both the ballot and also from the nominations. So the recommendation will be that Council appoints Mayor Karen Vernon as a member and Councillor Scott Ingram as a deputy member to the Mindarie Regional Council for the period 28 October 2025 to 16 October 2027. 2. Appoints Councillor Claire Anderson as a member and Councillor Andra Biondi as a deputy member to the Catalina Regional Council for the period 28 October 2025 to 16 October 2027. 3rd, appoints Deputy Mayor Lindsay Miles and Councillor Andra Biondi as members, and Councillors Jack Gordon-Manley and Councillor Scott Ingram as deputy members to the WA Local Government Association South East Zone for the period 28 October 2025 to 16 October 2027. 4. Advises the Minister for Planning that the Town of Victoria Park nominates Councillor Peter Melrosa and Councillor Andra Biondi as members, and Councillor Jack Gordon-Manley and Councillor Sky Cruiser as deputy members to the Metro Inner Development Assessment Panel in accordance with Regulation 24 of the Planning and Development Assessment Panels Regulations 2011 for the period 27 January 2026 to 26 January 2028. 5. Appoints Mayor Karen Vernon as a member and Councillor Dan Minson as a deputy member to the South East Metropolitan Regional Road Subgroup for the period 28 October 2025 to 16 October 2027. And 6. Appoints Councillor Sky Cruiser to the Canning College Board for the period 28 October 2025 to 16 October 2027. As Mayor, I will move that recommendation, seeking a seconder through electronic voting. That is seconded by Councillor Cruiser. I'll now ask formally, is there any dissent? There being no dissent, declare that carried unanimously. Thank you. Item 9.3, appointment of elected members to advisory and working groups. In relation to this, we won't be calling for the appointment of deputies. All elected members under our policy will be deputies to each of the advisory and working groups. So, starting first, and we'll follow the same process. If there are more nominees than the positions are available, we will go to an election using ballot papers. Firstly, Access and Inclusion Advisory Group. I have received nominations from Councillor Claire Anderson, Deputy Mayor Lindsay Miles and Councillor Sky Cruiser. Is there anyone else who is seeking appointment to the Access and Inclusion Advisory Group? No. On that basis, those elected members will be our members on that advisory group. Next advisory group is the Business Advisory Group. I've received nominations from Councillor Jack Gordon-Manley, Councillor Andra Biondi and Councillor Scott Ingram. Those three persons are still willing to be the members on this group. And is there anybody else who is seeking appointment to this working group? No, there being nobody else, those three councillors will be our representatives on the Business Advisory Group. The Hockey Working Group received nominations from Councillor Claire Anderson, myself, Mayor Vernon, and Councillor Andra Biondi. Everyone still content with those three for nominations? Yep. Is there anyone else who's seeking appointment to the Hockey Working Group? No. On that basis, those three councillors or elected members will be the representatives on this group. The Mindera Advisory Group. I have only received a definitive nomination from Councillor Sky Cruiser. Are there others who wish to nominate? Councillor Gordon-Manley, you wish to nominate? Yep, thank you. Are there others who would wish to nominate to go on this group? Deputy Mayor Miles. Is there anyone else who wishes to be appointed to the group? If there is, we will go to a vote. No. On that basis, those three elected members, Councillor Cruiser, Councillor Gordon-Manley and Deputy Mayor Miles will be the members on that group. Next group is the Urban Forest Working Group. I've received notification of nominations from Councillor Minson and Councillor Melrosa. Is there anyone else who is seeking appointment to the Urban Forest Working Group? Councillor Gordon-Manley. Thank you. Anyone else who's seeking appointment to the Urban Forest Working Group? No? All right. Then we have three persons for the Urban Forest Working Group. Finally, we have the Integrated Transport Working Group, for which we have 4 positions available. I've received nominations from Councillor Peter Melrosa, Councillor Sky Cruiser, Councillor Jack Gordon-Manley and Deputy Mayor Lindsay Miles. Are all those 4 people still seeking their appointment to this group? Yes. Is there anyone else who's seeking appointment to this group? No? On that basis, if there's no one else seeking appointment to the group, those 4 elected members will fill the 4 spots. So, on that basis, the recommendation will now be that Council appoints Councillor Claire Anderson, Deputy Mayor Lindsay Miles and Councillor Sky Cruiser to the Access and Inclusion Advisory Group. Secondly, appoints Councillor Jack Gordon-Manley, Councillor Andra Biondi and Councillor Scott Ingram to the Business Advisory Group. Third, appoints Councillors Claire Anderson, myself, Mayor Vernon, and Councillor Andra Biondi to the Hockey Working Group. 4, appoints Councillors Sky Cruiser, Jack Gordon-Manley and Deputy Mayor Lindsay Miles to the Mindera Advisory Group. 5, appoints Councillors Peter Melrosa, Daniel Minson and Councillor Gordon-Manley to the Urban Forest Implementation Working Group. And 6, appoints Councillors Peter Melrosa, Sky Cruiser, Jack Gordon Manley, and Deputy Mayor Miles to the Integrated Transport Working Group, and 7 appoints all councillors as deputies to all advisory and working groups. I depart with tradition. Would somebody like to move that using electronic voting? And a seconder, please. So that was moved Councillor Ingram and seconded Councillor Anderson. Can I have an indication? Is there any dissent to what is proposed? Nope, there being no dissent, declare that carried unanimously. Thank you. Item 10 is public question time, which I now open at 7:10 p.m. There being no members of the public in the gallery, I'll close it at 7:10 p.m. Item 11 is public statement time, which I open at 7:10 p.m, but again close at 7:10 p.m. due to there being no members in the public gallery. Item 12, meeting closed to the public. There are no matters for which the meeting needs to be closed to the public. And at 7:11 p.m, I declare this special council meeting is closed. Thank you everyone for your participation tonight. We look forward to working with you all, and I hope that everyone who's been appointed to an external body and an advisory and working group enjoys their time on those groups. And to those who joined us on live streaming, thank you. Good night. We're adjourned.
Thank you, councillor staff. Please be upstanding for Her Worship Mayor Karen Vernon.